Do not move to Saanich until you hear this. Because you have beaches, you have parks, you have lakes, and some of the best schools around, but you also have older homes, higher prices, and some surprisingly confusing boundaries. Saanich is massive. It's the largest municipality in Greater Victoria, and whether you're a first-time homebuyer, a growing family, or someone downsizing, the experience of living here can be completely different depending on which neighborhood you choose. So today I'm breaking down 10 important things you need to know before moving to Saanich. The good, the bad, and some stuff people don't really talk about. I'm G, I'm a local realtor based here in Victoria, BC. I'm born and raised here. I actually live in Saanich, and I help buyers and sellers all across Greater Victoria. So if you have any questions or need help, my info is in the description below. Call, text me anytime. Other than that, let's get right into it. First up, Saanich is huge. Each area feels like its own city. Saanich is the largest municipality in Greater Victoria, and it's split into Saanich East and Saanich West, which feel like two completely different worlds. Saanich East, you have Gordon Head, Broadmead, Mount Doug, Cedar Hill, Maplewood, Quadra, and Shelburne Corridor. More walkable, closer to UVic, and a bit more established neighborhoods. Saanich West, you have Royal Oak, which is where I live. You have Strawberry Vale, Glanford, Marigold, and they're a bit more suburban, quieter streets, bigger yards, and more single-family homes. Commute times can vary massively depending on where you live. It could be 10-15 minutes, or it could be 20 to 30 minutes depending on where you live, but it also depends on traffic and time of day. Prices differ too. Saanich East is typically more expensive, especially near UVic and Mount Doug. This is why the neighborhood choice matters more than compared to other places. And many buyers will tell you, I want Saanich, but really they want a specific pocket of it. Number two, home prices are high, but you get a lot of value. Saanich homes tend to cost more compared to say the West Shore and certain parts of the Esquimalt, but less when you compare it overall to Oak Bay or Fairfield. You're paying for the schools, location, parks, newer updates in certain areas, and proximity to pretty much everything, of course depending on where in Saanich you live. Plus, detached homes often start just above the low $1 million range, but it depends on the area. Condos are available, but mainly they're around Uptown, Quadra, Mackenzie, Tilcombe a bit, and parts of Royal Oak. And often you can get them between $450,000 to $750,000 range, depending on the age, size, and the type of property you want, whether that's a one-bedroom or a two-bedroom. And townhomes are extremely competitive as well because Saanich doesn't really build many of them. Expect to pay at least between $700,000 all the way up to $1 million, if not more, depending on the age, the area the property is in, and how many bedrooms and the size of it. But many homes are older as well, between 1950s and 1980s, so you have to factor in renovations as well. Number three, Saanich has some of the best schools around. In Saanich, you can find Gordon Head Middle School, Claremont Secondary, Reynolds Secondary, Lambert Park Secondary, and Mount Douglas Secondary, which is where I went to school. But there's also other options as well. Plus, many families move to Saanich specifically for the schooling. Also, the proximity to UVic and Camosun College make it a top choice for students and families who say have kids who will be going off to university and college, but want to help them save money by being able to live at home as well. Number four, nature. It's everywhere. Lakes, trails, and beaches. Saanich has some of the best natural spaces in Greater Victoria. You have Mount Doug Park, which is great for hiking, beautiful views when you get to the top as well. You have Thetis Lake, which is technically View Royal, but close enough to Saanich that many residents love to go there. You also have Elk and Beaver Lake, but there's other options as well. But Saanich is perfect if you love outdoor lifestyle for running, hiking, swimming, paddleboarding. But really, by living in Saanich, you get that nature lifestyle without having to leave the city. Number five, traffic. It's decent, but certain roads can be a pain. Saanich has better traffic when you think about downtown Victoria or you think about the mainland. But in areas like Mackenzie Avenue, Shelburne Street, or Quadra Street, it can get pretty backed up during rush hour, and on Shelburne there is construction still going on, so that can add to the delays. But a major advantage of Saanich is you usually have multiple routes you can take depending on where in Saanich you live. Plus, commutes to UVic or downtown can be pretty manageable, but of course it depends on the time of day you go and the traffic, so there's other factors that come into play. but you're less dependent on the highway compared to West Shore buyers that have to come into Victoria all the time. So if you pick the right neighborhood, you can possibly save 15 to 25 minutes, but of course it depends on where you work, time of day, and the traffic. So a good plan is, if you have a home in mind, put that home on Google Maps or Apple Maps and see how long it takes to get from there to your workplace during rush hour. Number 6, homes are often older, so be prepared for renovations. Many Saanich properties were built between the 1950s to 1980s, so expect older electrical, oil tanks, and a bit of a tip on that, make sure you get an underground oil tank scan done if you're buying an older property. Talk to your realtor about more information regarding that as well and their professional advice. Other than that, you have dated insulation, single pane, and older vinyl windows as well. But the good news is, many homes have already been updated, especially in Royal Oak, Broadmead, and Gordon Head. But renovated homes tend to sell for a higher amount compared to unrenovated homes, of course. So you need to look at the pros and cons of a renovated property versus an unrenovated property. You also want to look at the suites. Are they legal or are they unauthorized? Plus, with these older homes though, you tend to get bigger lots compared to say Langford or Colwood. And if you're a handy buyer, Saanich is full of opportunity. Number 7, Saanich West feels very different from Saanich East. Saanich East is closer to Vic, tends to have higher prices for homes, older established neighborhoods, and a bit more walkability. Saanich West, on the other hand, you have Royal Oak, you have Glanford, you have Tilcombe. Depending on where you are, it's a bit more quieter, but also families that want affordability while living in Saanich tend to stick to more of the Saanich West area. Now, you also have Royal Oak, which is one of the best central locations in the whole region with pretty much quick access to get around. I've lived in Royal Oak pretty much my entire life, and I choose to stay here is because of the easy accessibility to get around, whether by busing or if I need to get to, say, downtown Victoria or Langford or Colwood. As a realtor, I need to be able to get around fairly easily, and Royal Oak allows me to do that. Now, of course, depends on your own situation, so really pick and choose which area of Saanich you want to live and see the pros and cons of each area. Now you also have Glanford and Tilcombe, which tend to be a bit more affordable compared to Saanich East. So your lifestyle will differ depending on which side you choose. It's pretty much night and day. Buyers must decide whether they want, say, walkability, space, or other conveniences depending on where they choose to live. Number 8, shopping and convenience are pretty excellent. You're minutes away from Uptown Shopping Center, Tilcombe Mall, Mayfair Mall, Royal Oak Shopping Center, Broadmead Village, so you have access to restaurants, gyms, parks, lakes, plus you're close enough to downtown Victoria, but also close to West Shore to enjoy the amenities without having to deal with West Shore traffic all the time. Costco is a huge perk that's not too far away, could take 15 to 30 minutes depending on traffic and time of day. So really, Saanich is pretty unbeatable when it comes to convenience, especially for families with kids and multiple activities. Also, say you have kids that take the bus, is a great transit system as well in Saanich. Also, the walkability varies depending on where you live, but the central access is pretty top tier. Daily life feels much easier and efficient compared to living in other parts of Greater Victoria. Number 9, you find different types of housing in Saanich, but not much of new constructions. Saanich has single-family homes, duplexes, condos, townhomes, even homes with suites. But what Saanich doesn't really have is brand new housing. Now they're trying to build more new housing, but it's not really comparable when you look at, say, Langford, Colwood, especially Royal Bay. You see new townhomes in Saanich, but they're more rare compared to those areas, and they're at a much higher price tag. I've seen brand new townhomes being on sale for $1 million plus. But you have resale inventory and the neighborhood's a bit more established in Saanich, so it's really perfect for buyers who want the established area over, say, brand new subdivisions. Number 10, Saanich is one of the most established municipalities in Victoria. Saanich has quiet neighborhoods, strong community vibe, family-oriented communities, but of course depends on which neighborhood you choose to live in Saanich. But you have parks, trails, playgrounds, pretty much everywhere, which make it extremely livable. And many people who grew up here end up returning to raise their own families. Plus, you get a perfect blend of urban convenience and suburban calm. So it's a great long-term place to really live or invest in, depending on the property and where you choose to live in Saanich. So there you go. 10 things you need to know before moving to Saanich. is one of the most livable, convenient, and nature-filled communities in Greater Victoria. But it's not the same experience in every neighborhood. And that's where having someone who's local really makes the difference. So if you think about buying or selling anywhere in Greater Victoria, or you just want help figuring out which area fits your lifestyle and your budget, I'm here to help. Call, text me anytime. My info is down below in the description. No pressure at all. I just love helping people make the move and just answer any questions and see what I can do to be of service to you. So make sure to like the video if you enjoyed it, drop a comment about maybe what you think about Saanich, and make sure to subscribe to stay up to date with future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.